There I am, up on the stage, here I go, playing Stardew again. There I go, there I go. Welcome back to Stardew Valley. This is episode 15, and we have reached the first day of summer. If you have not done so already, be sure to subscribe to the channel. In any case, it's summer 1, so tons going on today, but the obvious thing that we need to do is get crops, plant said crops, and there's going to be a bunch of them. We've kind of talked about how much we want to spend on crops in the last episode or two. And what we have not really talked about is exactly what we're going to buy, how many, etc. So, I did a bunch of number crunching, and ultimately what we're going to have is 4 rows that are going to be 18 spaces long. So, that means 6 plots of 9, basically. 3x3, and then each of those plots actually is going to have the middle space open because we're going to eventually put quality sprinklers in there. So what we're doing here is making a space for the quality sprinklers. There you see 5 spots, so I got to go out 1 more, and that'll give us 6. And then, like I said, we're going to have 4 rows that are just like this. And then what we're going to buy is a bunch of blueberries. The top 3 rows are going to be nothing but blueberries. And it's because they are very profitable. They continue to grow after the first harvest. They net multiple berries when you harvest them a lot of times. So you make a bunch of money off of blueberries. So that's what we're going to try and focus on. This season will really set us up with a bunch of cash going into the fall. And the fall is going to be even more profitable because of pumpkins and cranberries. Plus, by then, we're going to have some other stuff going on, hopefully. Like, we'll have a coop, we'll have a barn, is at least part of the plan. So stuff like that. Now, since we are expanding our field of crops, we will also need to craft some more scarecrows. So that's on the agenda, and then we're also going to try and get up to Robin's today, and we're going to buy a silo, and that is for 2 reasons. One, it's not very expensive. It only costs 100 gold. Now, it does cost some additional resources, which I believe is 100 stone, 10 clay, and 5 copper bars. So you know, the reality is those items we can come across with relative ease, and the $100 is like nothing. And so the amount of crops that we're going to buy is going to leave us with just enough cash to do that, and we'll actually have a little bit left over. I think the crops that we're going to buy are going to cost us in the neighborhood of 14,000, and we've got 16,000. So the $100 is definitely doable. But anyway, that's on the agenda for today. It's going to take up most of our day in terms of just raw time. And planting all these crops is also going to use up most of our energy because we had to till the soil. And we're also going to have to water all of these. And if I were to just water this many crops, it pretty much uses every bit of energy that I have in a day. So, we got lots to do, but it's exciting. It's the first day of summer. And this is the season where we will really start to make progress, you know, because we're going to get a bunch of cash from our crops. It's going to take a little while for those crops to start getting to where we can harvest them, but once they do, it's go time, y'all. So that's pretty much the plan for today. And we got to be pretty efficient with our time because we need to get up to Robin's to get the silo purchased. And as you see there, we only have 4 copper bars. So we'll have to swing by the mines and smelt another one. I can't remember if I had silver bars or iron bars smelting or copper bars when I left the mines. So just to be sure, we'll grab some copper to be able to smelt at least 1 more bar. Although I think I have enough resources up there to do it anyway, but whatever. So we could have checked the cave there, but I wanted to make sure that we got there. We got up to Robin's. We got the silo purchased. We get to Pierre's and buy all of our crops. And then back in time to plant everything. So anyway, did I water yet? I don't even think I watered yet. I can't remember. I've been talking so much that I haven't actually even really been watching what my dude is up to. But anyway, yeah. So we had some smelting there, so we're good. We're in good shape. We can now go ahead and we'll just drop some bait into our crab pots and head on back into town. What else? I missed it there. Anyway, I'm trying to think of what else we need to do today. I mean, honestly, with all of that we talked about, it's going to take up most of the day. It's already 1. Now we're buying the silo here, and I could have sworn you used to be able to put it behind your farmhouse, but apparently not. So we're going to put it over here, but we want to make sure that we have room for the shed. And I couldn't remember how big the shed was, so I'm pretty sure I sit here for a minute while I look it up. So I didn't like have a stroke right here. I was just making sure that if I plop this down, I didn't block where my shed is going to go. And I might have screwed that up anyway, but oh god, that's going to drive me crazy if I did. Because I might have lined it up based off of where the chests were instead of where the house is, and those chests are going to be gone once I get a shed. And that will bother me if it doesn't line up exactly right. I'll look at it later. Or we'll see it tomorrow whenever she starts building it. And I think you can move the buildings once they're down, so I don't think it's that big of a deal. So, anyway. Alright, so what we're buying here, we got 2 melons, and we're trying to kind of stash these things based off of where we're going to plant them. So there's 144 of our blueberry seeds, and that takes up most of our cash. Then pepper seeds regrow after you harvest, so they're going next to the pepper or the tomatoes that do the same. There's wheat. We got 24 of those, and then radishes only harvest once. 2 poppy seeds that only harvest once. Same with spangle seeds, so that's 1 group of 8. And then hops starters keep growing. Corn is a group of 8, so they're going to go up there. And then sunflower seeds. Now, sunflower seeds don't regrow after you harvest them, but they do frequently drop more seeds. So you get your sunflower, and a lot of times you get sunflower seeds, but I'm not really worried about those extra crops. It's blueberries that we want for profit, wheat that we want a bunch of for the community center, and corn that we want a fair amount of because of the community center, because you need 5 quality corn for the community center. And actually, now that I think about it, I kind of will go back eventually and get a bunch more melon seeds. So after the wheat is harvested, we'll put melons in its place, because 5 quality melons along with the 5 quality corn will complete the quality crops bundle in the community center. The other option that you can put into that bundle is, I believe, pumpkins. But if we can finish it this season, it'll be even better. I can't remember what you get for it. I think actually you get a quality sprinkler, which will be cool, because we need those. And we don't have the gold in order to build them. So, and then you can see here, I started watering and then stopped. So anyway, we are now planting the items that they continue to grow, or in the sunflower's case, they drop you some more seeds. These items here, like the flowers and the radishes, I'm just planting 2, one so I can sell. Actually, I might even just keep both of each of those, like one. Anyway, what I'll do is, if I need it in the community center, I'll put one in there and then keep one more. I'm going to keep one in my chest regardless. That's the bottom line. So, I think you need a spangle maybe, and actually I think you need a poppy for the community center. But, pretty sure you don't need radishes. But you do need the melon. So anyway, we are making pretty good time. It's already 4:40, but we've done everything around town that we need to do today. We got all our crops, we got them planted, we got the fertilizer down with all the blueberries and some of the corn. So we should do pretty well on the quality corn process. I'm not real concerned about that, because they grow for 2 seasons anyway. So even if I don't get them in summer, I will get them shortly into fall, surely. So, and then the quality blueberries, I believe the way it works with blueberries, so like they're one of the ones where when you snatch them, they oftentimes will give you more than one. And the first one that you grab has the chance of being a higher quality. The second one is always just regular quality, so you end up with a bunch of regular quality ones related to how many silver and gold. And you're thinking like, man, this fertilizer is not doing the job, but it is. It's just, if I have, let's see, 3 rows of 48, so it's 144 blueberry plots. But every time I harvest them, I'll end up with way more than that. Like, I don't know if it's like 200 or what, but we'll end up with a bunch more, and many of those are always going to be regular quality. So, but this day has gone pretty well, honestly. I'm actually way farther ahead than I thought I would be in terms of time. I thought it would be dark already right now. So we did pretty good there. Now we're pretty much out of energy. And again, like when I do this stuff on an everyday basis, we're going to burn through most of our energy just to water our crops. In fact, probably all of it. So the first time it rains, I want to have enough money saved up to upgrade my watering can. It's only 2,000 bucks and 5 copper bars, which we'll need to smelt some more copper bars to be able to do it, but it's gonna probably be worth it because I'll be able to water a little bit faster and more efficiently in terms of energy usage. So, because when you upgrade the watering can the first time, no fruit again, dang it. When you upgrade the watering can the first time, you are able to then water the 3 spots directly in front of you. So it'll be a little bit weird with the spots in the middle where the sprinklers are going to go. I need to basically decide to myself if I just want to go north and south and hit every spot regardless of whether there's that gap in the middle or not, or if I want to go east and west. I'm trying to think of how this would work. So I would go south, and whatever. There's probably going to be spaces where I'm watering nothing, but it'll still be more efficient than doing it with the regular watering can. So anyway, so what I'm doing here, I'm crafting some wood path, and those we are going to put under the scarecrows and under where the sprinklers are going to go. And so when we put down the quality sprinklers, they're going to be in the spot where I want them for the next season as well. But when I start the next season, if I start tilling, by then I should have an upgraded hoe and be able to do, I'm hoping to have like gold everything by the start of, I don't know that I'll have gold everything by the start of fall. That's probably a little ambitious. But anyway, what was I going to say? Oh, if you have the upgraded hoe to where you can till like a plot of 9 spots all at once, when you do that, it would knock up, what just happened here? It would pull up the scarecrows or the sprinklers if you didn't have any kind of flooring underneath them. So that's a little trick. Put some wood path below it. All it costs you is 1 piece of wood, and then when you go to, chew up a whole bunch of ground at once, it doesn't pull those up. You'll see the value of that later whenever we actually go to do that. There you see we got another tree ready. So our tree empire is slowly coming along. Now we're kind of out of energy, so what I'm doing there is just kind of getting the grass away from the crops. And now that I look at where that silo is, I'm really thinking that it is in the wrong spot. Like, it needs to be one farther back. Jeez. So anyway, as soon as she's done with that, I want to at some point stop up at her place and move it back 1 space so that I can fit my shed where I want it, where it lines up directly with the house. I like to have the shed right next to the house so that you don't have to go far to get to it. And we may eventually end up with multiple sheds. But with the 1.4 upgrade, you can get a mega shed where it doubles the space inside the shed. And that is freaking sweet. So it doubles the space inside without taking up any bigger footprint, which is awesome. So yeah, and you can see there where the chest is that I just put beside the house, there's only a couple spots behind that, so the shed won't fit there. Dang it. I really hope you can move buildings. I'm pretty sure you can. So we'll do that hopefully before we get too far down the road. I have to remember to do that. So that's it for day 1. That was very efficient, y'all. We got everything done that we wanted to. I wasn't sure if going and buying the silo would throw off our schedule enough to where we would, like really be pressed for time, but that worked out very well. So we did good. Now it is day 2, and there's really not a whole lot we can do, but kind of watch here. Like, I'm going to go out and water, and you'll see what I'm talking about with like burning through energy just to water the crops. I mean, it takes a while, so it chews up a fair amount of my time to start the day, but the real thing that sucks is that it takes up all my energy. So anyway, it's going to be critical for us to get those quality sprinklers going as soon as possible, because they will water every crop touching the sprinkler. So all 8 around it get watered by a quality sprinkler. So a lot of people craft like regular quality sprinklers, but I don't really think they're worth it, because before long you want to replace them, and it's like, well, heck, what's the point wasting the resources on that when it's not that far deeper into the game when you can get quality sprinklers. Now iridium sprinklers on the other hand, there's like no way I'm getting them in year 1. You'd have to be like super dedicated to using every possible moment of the day to be like completely focused on just maximizing your potential, and I'm not that guy. We get pretty efficient, and we'll we'll do really well. If you can knock out the community center in year 1, you've done well. And that is our goal. And we'll get close. The red cabbage, I think, is going to be the key. Because, like I said, by the end of this season, hopefully we'll have a bunch of quality sprinklers, we'll have a coop and a barn, and some, fair amount of animals to start knocking out some of those bundles. The bulletin board is usually the one that I end up finishing last, because there's a lot of stuff in there that's just tough to come by. Red cabbage in particular. But, anywho, so like, look at our energy bar, y'all. It's, 2/3 of the way gone, and we are about 2/3 of the way done watering. Maybe not even. So, plans for the rest of today. We might try and go mining. I don't know that I'll spend a whole lot of time cutting wood, although we might cut like a couple of trees, simply because one of the things on the to-do list in the near future is to be crafting tappers as well as our sprinklers. We're going to want to put tappers in our tree empire, so we'll need some wood to do that. So like what we'll probably do, we're going to be doing a lot of mining this season, unfortunately. So maybe like on our way to the mines, we'll cut down whatever trees are kind of on the way. And then occasionally some trees around the farm. We probably won't be doing a lot down in the hidden forest this season, because it's the opposite direction of the mines, and we need a bunch of gold and iron ore and even copper ore to be crafting our tappers and quality sprinklers. So yeah, like I said, that's kind of on the big keys for this season are going to be, this huge investment that we just made in the crops, and it will pay big dividends, but it's going to use a lot of our energy. So the days where it rains are going to be huge, because it won't, we won't have to water. We can put all that energy into mining, and then the more we can do mining, the quicker we'll get sprinklers, and that will mean less having to water, so it'll all kind of snowball. But anyway, we already have 1,800 bucks, closer to 1,900, so we'll be close to the 2 grand mark. Maybe not today, but in the next few days we should be close to 2 grand, and hopefully have some copper bars stored away to do an upgrade to our watering can. But again, we need it to be a rainy day in the forecast before we upgrade the watering can. So what you want to do in terms of upgrading your watering can is, when you get up in the morning and it's calling for rain the following day, that is the day that you want to upgrade the watering can. So you see the news forecast, it says it's going to rain tomorrow. You go water your crops, you go to Clint's, you drop off your watering can, because he's going to work on it that day, the next day when it's raining, and then it's ready the following day, so that you can go and get it and come back and water your crops, and you miss 0 days of watering your crops. So, like I said, the first time it's calling for rain, we're going to want to go down there and drop off the watering can to get it upgraded. That might be the only time we upgrade the watering can for a while, if not ever, because we won't use it much after we get our sprinklers in place. Eventually we'll upgrade it to at least gold, because we'll get to where on the first day of the season you still need to water your crops when you plant them, and it's just nice to be able to cover more ground with the upgraded hardware. So you see there, we are smelting copper with that kind of plan in mind to do You know, not only some tappers, but also be prepared for that watering can upgrade. So we made it to the mines by 1 o'clock, basically. We had to eat, you know, a fair amount, though, just to have some energy. And that's going to be something to just kind of keep in mind as this season unfolds. You know, we're using a lot of energy just on our crops. And, you know, frankly, a fair amount of our time. And those are your two biggest resources in this game, ultimately, time and energy. I mean, obviously money, but you use your time and energy to get money. So, and I am having a hard time here dispatching that stupid dust spirit thing because of it's just in a weird spot and it won't let me hit it. Anyway, I think at that point I was like, screw this. And then he got into a better position, killed him, drops ladder, boom. So, I think our objective here in this day, in terms of what we want to do in the mines, 5 levels with the amount of struggles that I have fighting monsters, 5 levels a day is pretty realistic as a goal. 10 is like a stretch goal, unless, you know, it's a rainy day and the first thing we do is head straight up to the mines. Then, you know, 10 to 20 is more than doable. But anyway, I think 5 today is a pretty decent goal. That would get us to 65, and I'd be okay with that. Especially considering I'm probably going to die before that happens anyway. Good lord, I'm terrible. I gotta get a new weapon. I mean, this one's just awful. It doesn't cover any ground except for what's right in front of you. And I need something that covers, you know, as wide of a range as possible when I swing it. So, if I could get, like, one of those nets that you use to clean a swimming pool, that would be ideal. Because you can't miss. This thing is like trying to poke someone with a pencil. Anyway, we're running out of time, or we're running out of stuff to talk about, y'all, because our plans for the season are pretty much going to be the same most every day. I don't think there's anything going on the calendar tomorrow, so we'll look at that, and then we'll move on to the fun fact of the day. Okay, so nothing going on tomorrow in terms of the schedule. The 4th is a Thursday, and it is Jazz's birthday. My dog's barking, y'all. So Thursday is Jazz's birthday, so we'll try and track her down and give her a gift. But other than that, it's going to be pretty much business as usual. Water crops, do some mining, maybe cut a tree or two, craft some sprinklers and tappers. It's going to be like an instant replay on a day-to-day basis for the most part. So, as boring as that sounds, there will be some stuff going on that will add some color on a regular basis. But anyway, like I was saying, it is time for the fun fact of the day. Today's fun fact is that ancient Egyptians would use dead mice to help ease a toothache. And we just got a lead rod, which this thing does some freaking damage, y'all. Now, you swing and it's like he poses like photo op time after I swing and smash a slime, but that thing does some serious damage. And for me, I want to be like nice and deliberate when I swing anyway, so that like if I'm going to do this, let's just make sure that I'm facing the right direction and I make contact. And if I can do that, it's going to do damage. So I kind of like this versus just the, you know, with the crystal dagger, it was just like swing as fast as you can and just hope that you're swinging in the right direction. This one, I can just take my time and smash them in the face, and they pretty much die after a swing or two for the most part. So that was awesome. That was like, I was happy when it happened. But anyway, let's get back to the fun fact of the day. Like I was saying, ancient Egyptians would use dead mice to help eliminate a toothache. And this is one of those things when I try and wrap my mind around it, it's like, wait a second, what? Because what guy was like, oh god, my tooth hurts. You know what? I wonder if I stick this dead mouse in my mouth, if it'll make it go away. Like, how did that ever occur to someone? And then, how did it, like, have any kind of effect to the point where it's like, yeah, that did a good job. Let's write that one down in the old medical book so that everyone knows. Oh, your tooth hurts. Just chew on a dead mouse. I don't really know how that would work, other than maybe it made you sick to the point where you weren't focused on the toothache anymore because your mouth, you know, while your tooth hurt, you were puking your guts out. But anyway, that's an interesting fun fact. Um, and today's fun fact was brought to you by Clint's Blacksmith Shop. So if you ever need to smash some geodes or upgrade your tools around the house, swing by Clint's, the best blacksmith in town, guaranteed. Um, and then you saw there we sold our crystal dagger and some other. I think we sold a solar essence. We're up to 2347 on the old bank account now. So, um, considering how concerned I was about cash flow coming into this season, we actually ended up doing pretty well because I don't know that, I could have afforded some more crops. I don't know that I could have tended to any more crops than what we bought. Like, we have 4 rows of 48, which is, if you struggle with math, that is 192 individual crops that we got to water every time it doesn't rain. So that's a lot of energy spent and time spent just getting your plants to grow. And so we got our next tapper, tapping I believe that is a maple. And I'm surprised that none of our pines have come along, or pine trees. But anyway, and we ought to be due for our oak tree to give us some resin. I don't know exactly how long it takes after you tap a tree for it to kick out some goodness, but we gotta be getting close, y'all. So anyway, this was a pretty good, productive couple of days to start the season. We got down 5 levels in the mines. We got all of our crops going. That was, like I said, that was pretty much the main objective that we had on the agenda. So I will take it. And then, the next few days are going to be pretty much close to instant replays of today. We'll hopefully get a rainy day in the next couple of days. It's not going to rain tomorrow, but maybe the next day, y'all. And if it does, we will try and upgrade the old watering can. So that's going to do it, though, for this episode. So be sure to drop a like. If you have not subscribed, please do so, because the more subscriptions we get, the more exposure we'll get. And the more exposure we get, the more motivation I have to continue to produce these videos. And comment below anything you see that pointers, tips, anything that can help other players or myself. We are more than happy to get that knowledge posted into the comment section below. So we're just kind of wrapping up here, getting organized, and then we will hit the sack. And then I will point it out now before we get to this point. Right as we are, after we get in bed, you hear a noise, so you might have to turn your volume up a little bit because I kind of have the in-game audio turned down. But you'll hear a noise that's kind of a rumbling sound, and it's an earthquake. That means the area by the train is accessible. So we might try and go up there in the next episode just to kind of show you what it looks like. And maybe get some resources. And I remembered to bring my staircase this time. And some other stuff. But y'all, that should do it for this episode, as we're going to go in say hello to Cooper, hit the drum beat, and it's bedtime. So, thank you for watching, and there was the earthquake. I hope I didn't talk through it. But anyway, we will see you all next time.